Today is the 18th. Welcome everybody who's here. Emma is coming any second. I just talked to her. I am clutching my nostrils because I have a full flowing cold going on.
There's
So
MA.
yay. I'll wait for her. Aha! There you are.
I am. I was
Yay. Well,
doing,
you should all be grateful for Zoom since I am blowing snoogs all over the place. I have a cold. But,
Snooks.
but
gee, thanks, David.
it only hits my screen. You'll never know.
There is some terrible stuff going around.
Oh, great. Well, I've got a feather up my nose is the main idea right now. So, till Lori gets home, I'm taking minutes and we could review the minutes that I sent out. They looked okay to me. I suppose I should introduce the meeting. Welcome, everybody, to the Deerfield Energy Conservation Committee meeting of December 18th, 2025. Present are David Gilbert Keith, Ryan Kingston, Stephen Svoboda, M.A. Swedland, Lori Busada is en route, and Greg Franceschi was trying, but somehow couldn't get through. Um, so we'll send technical help to Greg sometime. Uh, and we're reviewing minutes. David's taking minutes for now. Anybody have a comment on the September minutes? We never, oh wait, is it September or did we get it? We did have an October meeting, didn't we? I may have
Pretty
sent,
sure we did.
I may have sent the wrong ones, but we need to review September anyway. Did everybody get those?
Yes.
Yes.
If you check your email from me, I always send them right after the meeting. So
No, I got it. I sent them. Oh, but let me look.
yeah, I saw that you sent something this time, but if it's the wrong month,
Ah, details. Picky, picky, picky. Let's see. Here's 1024. I will send that right along to everybody. Um, how do I do that? I do this. New message. Enter.
Greg, were you successful this time?
You can't hear me?
Oh, we did hear you.
I just unmuted you.
Oh,
So
okay.
you finally got on. We saw that you were trying.
Yes. For some
Excellent.
reason, when the AI companion thing came up, I don't know if I hit the wrong button or what, but it wouldn't let me go into the meeting. The little wheel started spinning.
Ah, so helpful. I have been having, as you have all experienced, a thing where the autocorrect from AI changes the date to the current date. When I'm putting in like December 18th, I was writing on the 8th that did that. Here come minutes for today. I mean, from October. For those who just joined, I am clutching my nose because it wants to sneeze.
Totally out of control.
Yeah, it's really there.
It's the time of year.
Okay. So did we approve September?
Not yet.
Oh,
MA, are you still involved with the League of Women Voters?
No. I'm not sure when I was, but I was a long, long time ago.
Because a couple of years ago, I mean, I tried a couple of times to get the candidates to, to meet on the community television station, and they weren't willing to the couple of times that I tried it. And then all of a sudden, the League of Women Voters got them on, and it was really great to see. So I thought maybe that was your doing.
Nope. It was, who was that? I don't know. I was thinking it might have been from DRD, Engage folks,
Oh, uh-huh.
but I'm not, but it slips my memory, which
It was
is
great
that's
to see. I mean, it was a little awkward especially for David, I think, because by the end of it, he almost said that Tim was the better candidate. And Tim was really comfortable and, confident of his experiences and involvement, and it felt like David was a little cautious and, I don't know, defensive.
Which David are we talking about?
Wolfram.
Oh,
Nothing like gossiping. Are we on live? This is all being his AI got all this?
Mhm.
Oops, sorry, David.
um well, I move the minutes of 10/24/25.
okay. Do we have a second?
Yeah, second.
Second.
I'll leave it to Ryan. And the vote. Who's in
Wait a
favor of
minute, I've
approving the
gotta-
minutes as submitted?
Great minutes.
Looks unanimous.
I say, yep. I'll be right back.
And we might as well do September. I have a feeling we didn't do it on October. Unless it says so. Look at the thing. There they are. Yes, we did. So never mind.
Respectfully submitted. We did do them? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's right there in front of me. So we have our minute review over with. Moving on to the next agenda item. Ryan, you were looking at energy storage grants. Is that old history now, or can we talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So DOER, Department of Energy Resources, announced these new energy storage grants. Sent a link around in a flyer. There's three categories for storage grants. I think the first one is the most relevant to us, which is a feasibility study.
Mhm.
I'm just pulling up the flyer. Um, so I think the utilization for us here in Deerfield would be the Community Resilience Program, which would support energy storage at a critical facility or community resilience hubs. Could be senior center or other sites where we need sort of backup energy in the event of like an outage.
Yep.
So certainly we can talk about where it makes sense to look at, but I think this pre-construction support path, which would be sort of a feasibility study, that application deadline is January 23rd. So
Yeah.
we have a little time to think about it, but want to at least start the conversation and see, I guess, first of all, if this is something we want to pursue, and if there's any sort of work that's been done in the past to look at energy storage, it'd be good to just sort of know about.
All I know is it's meeting increasing resistance. People think all batteries are going to blow up and start fires and whatever.
Right.
And I see it as absolutely central to the transition. Um, it's what makes it all work. So I'm all in favor of doing it. I think what I'm would like to hear from everybody else about is how to quell the fears. I mean,
Well,
is it
why are yours quelled?
why are mine quelled? Because I'm much, much more afraid of climate change than of the occasional battery going bad.
So what are the variables that would make a good and ideal location?
Well, it depends how big it is, I suppose. I'll bet Steve knows more about it than me, but like a Tesla battery on a wall would be, aside from supporting somebody I'm not real keen on, but that sort of thing, uh,
There are
would be
other companies.
yeah, there are other companies, and I could totally see that being a very convenient and probably eventually profitable thing to have at a municipal building. Um, and I don't have the data on how often things go wrong, but I don't think it's terribly often.
Yeah, I think if we maybe from Ted Harvey we can get some well actually MEI is not going to have utility bills, but if we had one or two utility bills for our big buildings,
Yeah.
there's we want to look for demand charges, right? So if we see one building has large utility demand charges, it's a good
Yeah.
spot for battery to go in to reduce those demand charges on like a monthly basis. But for this program, they're looking at resilience. So if we have a
Yep.
location that we just needed to operate for during like outages, um,
Yep.
they would want us to design a battery that could maintain power there during an extended period. So I think it's
Yep.
it's kind of maybe up to us in the use case what that extended period might be. If we need it for 2 hours, 4 hours, 24
Yep.
hours, that would dictate kind of the size the battery would need, and the cost of it.
Yep.
I'm sorry I missed the very beginning of this, but I went to one of the ISO New England consumer liaison things a bunch of years ago, and there was a place, I have notes somewhere, um, somewhere near Boston, I think, that was a community resilience center, and they essentially created a micro hub there. And they got
Mm.
lots of solar and super insulation and all that, and then they put in a battery so that if there were an outage in the town, they could supply the town, or they're building up and running. But we've talked a little bit about this before.
Uh-oh, you're cutting
Would
out.
he, oh, I'm sorry.
Ori, you're
See
cutting out.
here.
Um,
Is that
in
MA.
in the pause,
Yeah.
um, I think this is a situation where teaming up with MVP might be very
Oh, yeah.
useful. Excuse
Absolutely.
me, because I think, I mean, we're talking about resilience. We're talking about Frontier being a location that um, people can go to uh, as a whatever they're called, if when things get bad. And
Yeah. Shelter.
shelter, there we go. That's a good enough name.
Yeah.
Um, and
And
so,
that's MVP is talking about that, right?
well, everybody is, but
Okay.
yes, MVP is also, and so I think probably we ought to talk about it in relation to resilience, and and I think probably the best person to talk to on that is maybe Greg Spediger, because he's been attending those meetings. And so
Uh,
I just
MVP
think
meeting?
that we can get we can possibly combine some grants
Yeah,
to make that happen.
cool. Um, yeah,
But it would be, it would be end up being a facility that would make Frontier and possibly Frontier for 4 towns. And then and also get, solar at Frontier. I mean, I think we'd have to be doing some combining of
yeah,
um, green communities
No, I don't.
and
In the middle of the meeting, could you, get it started
uh-oh.
Yeah.
when you get home?
Who's
It's just starting.
Greg or somebody? We're
Greg,
hearing a voice.
Started
want to
late.
mute?
4:30 it started.
Nope, he doesn't.
Okay,
Um, anyhow, I think this is definitely worth exploring, and and I know various groups have talked about it in the past as far as doing storage.
yeah, I know Jay Stryker brought it up a long time ago, but how should we go about exploring?
Um, well, I think we ought to talk to MVP folks, and I think we ought to um if Frontier or the elementary school ends up becoming a shelter, then that's where those are the
Yeah,
uh, I can't remember, but I think it was MVP that was talking about the shelters, wasn't it?
you would think they would.
I think
I
they
mean,
were.
it sounds like their thing.
They've kind of gotten off of that, but I think that they were talking about it at one point. So let me
Yeah, Carolyn Ness had established with uh, police chief, maybe even part of the whole emergency preparedness thing, that
yeah,
a place that would be the I don't know what you call it.
designated shelter kind
Yeah,
of. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so I think she has some idea. So she would be a good person to continue a conversation with, I think.
And
And she's chair of MVP, so that makes
and
tons of sense.
Ryan, if it's, I mean, we're talking about battery storage, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would also make sense to consider which buildings would work best with having battery storage. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
I'm just looking at the application portal. You can't scroll through to see every page, but the first
yeah.
thing it asks you is for a location, a facility.
So,
So we would have to sort of pick one, I guess, before we.
and I wonder, would that be police or select board?
But Carolyn would know what they've picked in the past, so we could start with her.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to have a conversation with Carolyn and follow up on that.
Oh, great. Thanks.
What is the name of this grant?
It is called Advancing Massachusetts Power.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you send that around or,
He did, yeah.
okay,
but you could do it again.
Oh, I can find it. I somehow missed it.
Hey. Lori, can I hand off the minutes now?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay, great. Um, well, that sounds like a start, and we've got till the 23rd.
Of
That-
December.
What was the deadline, Ryan?
Is what did I say? It's January. Um, sorry, my computer's slow.
Uh,
January 23rd.
Oh, January 23rd. Okay, but we,
we-
yeah, we should
and
definitely, I think, what's the word? Loop in, Christopher
done.
Dunn. Yes, thank you.
Or Greg or Greg, yeah.
And Greg, yeah, I think, and Greg, maybe send a joint email, MA, to all three of them, with Carolyn, and just say, we know about this, what's the
Yeah.
current idea for this or something, just a thought.
Yeah. And Ryan, how do you see it working best? I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to,
I think
what
that
I'm, what I'm getting at is, I guess, Frontier and the elementary school each have a lot of mini splits. Um, obviously a battery wouldn't help with the central gas boilers.
Mhm.
So
I think you'd need to have solar on the roof.
what spaces would have the ability to take that electricity and heat and provide heat?
Um, yeah, I guess where there are heat pumps, that makes sense to
Yeah,
focus on those.
yeah,
I'm thinking about just overall electricity use as well.
yeah, yeah,
Even if, if you need to rely on space heaters for an amount of time. Like
yeah,
these buildings, we don't lose power that often. The end
right,
goal here is resiliency in the event of, an extreme weather event or something.
yeah,
But the battery is going to be there. We're going to be able to activate it on a regular basis and take advantage of, clean peak credits. So,
right,
I would just want to look at the overall energy use and focus on a large building with a lot of ongoing energy use, and that's probably
yeah.
Frontier. Um,
And
and that
it would at
has a lot of
least let people charge
ancillary
their
benefits.
phones and things. Yeah,
Right. Yeah. And if there's solar going there,
Yeah.
we're able to then take advantage of solar production during the day and use the battery kind of in the
yeah,
evenings.
yep.
Um, so that's my gut reaction, but I do think like the end goal is resiliency to get some feedback from MVP and others. Um,
And this is a
can
grant. Do we have to kick in any part of it? At least for the
good
feasibility?
question. There's a longer manual here.
I should have done my homework. I apologize.
Yeah, it's been a while since I pulled this up, but
Maybe Ryan and 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 I mean, I don't know anything really about this, but maybe what we need to do is just have a meeting with town officials,
Yeah,
um, and just see if we can drum up some interest.
right.
yeah.
Good idea.
And I'd be happy to join you on that, Ryan, if you want.
Sure. Yeah, I can use, some help connecting with the right people.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I think Greg and Okay, MA's blocking on a name, but that's okay.
Snedeker, Greg and Chris.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah,
Christopher.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, just being in touch with them, Ryan, and seeing if there's townwide interest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any match requirements on a first pass here, so
And before we contact everybody, I mean, especially before talking to the select board, it would be good if we could point out advantages. I must, obviously resilience is part of it, but what Ryan was describing about, you know, off-peak energy and stuff
Right.
could be actually remunerative.
And
mhm.
the thing that I'm thinking about is that the whole thing with battery storage is complicated in a home, but much less complicated in a building.
Yeah.
You know, like
No, and the resistance I've been talking about or seeing is more like Wendell looking at a giant, really
yeah,
big
Right. And
Yeah,
solar
utility
facility.
scale.
that required cutting a huge amount of trees and having
Yeah.
away from its use. So
Yeah.
Greg was asking before about the ideal place. Okay, I have the ideal place, not next to us, but on King Street in Northampton, that huge parking lot across from the
Ah,
dealerships there.
yeah.
Let's see, in this town, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the size of it.
Yeah, but we're not looking at utility scale
Yeah,
from a
yeah. I
town
mean,
perspective.
Would it make sense to have it near the fire department so that everybody's fears about fire would be somewhat addressed by the city?
in their big
There is,
parking lot.
Maybe.
and also
there is land there.
um,
Yeah.
EMS place. Is that what it's called? South County EMS. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere in the town campus. I mean, it might be the size of a room in your house, no bigger than that. So
Oh,
Yeah,
I would
you
think it'd be
guys,
smaller probably, but
yeah, like UMass has a couple batteries, Amherst and Lowell, and yeah, I think the size we'd be looking at for like Frontier ideally would just go in like a utility room, or actually probably go outside, probably fence it
yeah,
off.
yeah,
But that's the kind of thing this study can help figure out, like just based on where the electrical infrastructure is, the space,
Right.
fire code, they would weigh all those different factors.
yeah.
So I also apologize for not doing my homework. So this grant is offering help to come up with all that information, or so do we have to get all the information before we talk to the select board, or is that?
Um, They offer the following components. I read this list. Introductory call, preliminary site visit, review electrical infrastructure, review utility bills and load profiles, utility rates, identifying critical loads and estimated energy and power usage of those loads, development of possible battery energy storage system size, review of solar PV potential and analysis, develop a preliminary up to 30% system design, and project pro forma and write-up of findings recommendations. So we'll ideally get us to a point where we can walk away from a study and say, here's where a battery would make sense. Here are the cost benefits. We'd have to take that out to, some other party, some developer, designer to get us to completion. But it would give us at least like direction.
Yeah.
So if we did it at the transfer station where they're installing all that solar right now,
Yeah.
No, well, that solar plan was included some battery. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it did
Oh, really?
originally.
yeah, originally it did. I can't remember whether it still does.
We
But
went next.
they're not our
Yeah.
batteries.
Right,
And
right.
and
And I would think that proximity to the shelter itself would be very important because we're talking about floods, tornadoes, whatever. You want it, you
Yeah.
don't want to have to count on the wires and stuff from a long distance.
Right, that's true.
The type of batteries that they would use would be probably the lithium iron phosphate, which aren't the dangerous ones. They
Great.
don't. So there's no need to go for the lightest, most dangerous ones because we're not. They're going to be
Move
sitting
on.
around.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So yeah, let's look into this and see where we.
Right. And I should mention that Pat told me we have to be done by 6, so you're safe. We're going to get done by 6. But we should probably move on. Are we done with energy storage? I mean, for now, we've got some directions. MA is going to contact Chris and Greg. And MVP too.
Yeah, and I am gonna need information about that grant, so I will talk to Ryan.
Great.
I put the link in the minutes, so it's just
Okay.
advanced.
Okay, great.
Great. And so climate leadership program. Here we go. Anybody want to say anything?
We've had our first next step meeting.
Uh-huh.
And we're going ahead for spring. The FERCog held a thing with NEAP, which is an organization, New England something or other, but they provide assistance for passing specialized stretch code.
Yeah.
And so I think continued conversation with them, I think they would be very helpful in getting any information we have and we need. And so, but people are gung ho at going ahead with Springtown meeting.
And
I'm
I
not
was
sure. Oh, but,
oh,
no.
thoughts on the whole NEAP thing is that I know it might, I don't know. It will make it take longer, but it seems like possibly talking with Sunderland or Conway and having us do it as a region might take some of unless you think there's going to be just as much resistance there. But I don't know. It would be interesting to talk to the NEAP people, and I'd be happy to do that with you, or if you want to do it with other, I don't know. I'd be happy to join that.
What does MEET stand for, or NEAT, or what?
New England
Right.
Energy something or other, I don't know.
Yeah. So,
Northeast Energy Efficiency Partnership.
Yeah, that's it. You got it. There's a woman, the woman that's sort of been the primary contact person I've talked to a couple of times, and we can reach out to her about getting help, and I think it's definitely worth our while.
yeah, I'm thinking somebody else to make a presentation might there's a lot of personality issues that were part of it, and if we could get some of the emotion out of it.
No, I think
way might be very helpful.
I'm thinking maybe at the end of this meeting we should talk more about general goals and purposes. I'd be fine with going ahead with it, but not the same way. We would create a lot of real, if we don't somehow reach that opposition group, and that's not fun. If we don't somehow change
Is
that.
this on our, are we allowed to even talk about this without having, I mean, it would be really nice if it wasn't a citizen's petition.
Well, is it a warrant article again, or I mean, is it that's what I was going to ask. Is it a citizens petition thing, or can we try again to get the select board on board?
We
Which
need,
obviously is,
we need 2 select board members, right?
yeah.
I think we can talk about this offline about
I think it's not our, I mean, we can talk about it, but not as an energy committee, because at this point in time, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure legally where we are on that. So
Well, if it isn't a citizen petition, I don't see why we couldn't talk about it. I think
it
it
isn't, it
actually is
isn't
our
one yet.
purpose to talk about it.
It is,
But what we could talk about is the whole decarbonization. So the grant was signed. I don't know if everybody, a lot of you on Zoom for that meeting. So the application for seeking funding for the app was signed. We don't know about that, right?
no, but I don't think it's too far away when we hear. I think we hear fairly soon. And we are trying to get a building tour set up.
Yes.
Ryan, it looks like it's probably going to be after the holidays. Did everybody see that note from Matthew Morris?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
to
so that's
schedule after the holidays, yeah.
yeah, it's after the holidays.
EMA, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Matthew Morse is I mean, we had talked about trying to set up a building tour with Ryan and actually me, Ryan, and the chair of the finance committee, whose name Julie Chalfant,
Hmm.
and anyhow have a tour of the buildings, so and in relation to energy use and roadmap design. And Matthews just said that it would be better for him. He just sent an email today saying it would be better for him after the holidays.
But who is he?
I'm sorry?
Who is he, Matthew?
He is head of our DPW.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's great to have a finance committee, and I'm thinking about the person who presented, Jeff Bettner from Shelburne, about their process of getting LED lights without Eversource involved. I thought it was really great that they made a little subcommittee with finance committee member. I think they said, I don't know, capital improvement. I mean, they got different committees to make a subcommittee, and maybe that would be something to think about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
I have a sort of semi-related question just to talk
Yeah.
about the third article, the EV first policy. Is it required for a town for that to go to town meeting?
No,
For
the
so
old specialized is the only one. And I've talked to Tim, and there's the select board would really is really talking about trying to, I mean, if we move ahead with the roadmap and we move ahead with the other and so that we go to town meeting in May with just the specialized.
okay.
The select board take care of that, and Tim is on top of that.
Okay. I feel like the EV first policy is an easy win and connects with our
Yeah.
decarbonization commitment that we've passed. It
Right,
just we don't need to convince people about that one, right? Something we could just sort of do,
exactly.
We don't
Yeah.
lead or anything like that, so.
right?
Well, so eesh. I guess our big decision, which probably needs to happen, when is the next town meeting?
It's in May, the first week in May, I think.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of time. I'm thinking that the big decision is this going to be us or DRD again or something?
Right,
citizens group.
right, but it's only 10 citizens, 10 signatures, so,
Yeah,
so it's not as,
but it still would be not us, right?
it would not be us.
So then we can't talk about it so much, but we haven't reached that point yet. So
We have
can
not, we
talk
have
about it.
not, we can, I guess we probably can talk about strategy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just kind of nervous, but, you know,
yeah.
there are people
Who will be looking at every little detail, exactly. And
but I do believe it's just numbers. I don't think we have to convince the people who are absolutely opposed to it. We just need to get more numbers.
Yeah,
I just would like to avoid starting a war. Um, I mean, a lot of the people who had issues last time kept saying they weren't included. I would like to include them, bring them in, talk about this stuff, or go to them. I wish I knew how.
yeah, I think one-on-one is going to be a good idea. And I would love to, maybe not even in this, I don't know, in this town, I would love to have them go to a house and see what some of this stuff looks like. We don't have it installed yet, but somebody has a
I
heat.
don't think they're opposed to that.
Yeah. No, I don't think we're going to change any minds.
No,
I just want it to be.
I think, and I think we could be strategic about one-on-one, but yeah, that seems like
I don't understand, David. If you're not going to change any minds, how you're going to change the vote? We have to change some people's minds.
Well, I think MA is probably right. It's going to come down to just numbers, but I think the degree of anger gets amplified when you come back after losing. I still hear complaints about things, Carolyn, right after we lost at the last town meetings, Carolyn Ness said, well, it took us 3 tries with the elementary school, but I hear about that all the time. That that people really resent that when you lose a vote, it isn't lost, that they don't stop. And if we could temper that, even if we still have the same count of votes opposition, um, I would be in favor because there would be just an increase in the politicization of any further environmental action in town.
yeah, I agree. I don't appreciate being considered some big bad, I don't know why people don't appreciate the energy committee. What are they opposed to the LED streetlights? Are they opposed to saving money? So
They don't know that it happened. They don't understand. They don't know how much it's saving the town. They really don't. I mean,
I
Right.
think that's
no,
right.
somebody
And I
said
think
something.
that's
Even though
on
you
us.
send out postcards, they don't read them.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I think we need,
is there another way? Is there I've taken some time over the last month to write my usual screeds, but also to start thinking about, well, nobody reads anymore. So how about some other approach? And, like even a billboard that says, did you know that for every $5 of gasoline you put in your car, only $1 goes to making it go forward? Did you know? You know, um, little factoids, something.
We did that with that
12-12.
huh? Yeah, 12-12.
I know.
And
I thought that was really effective, actually. So maybe the new library will pose some possibilities for that.
yeah, or
Can you guys explain that? I'm not getting that reference. 12-12 and the library, what?
There was a huge sign outside about how much energy the town was using and a thermometer. But I mean, you explain it, Emma, because I wasn't involved, but I was very impressed.
it had to do with the year.
But it didn't pass.
No, it was just informational. It was community education.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I remember the sign. Yeah.
It was in front of the library and but we had a Green Communities grant to do it. the first year we did Green Communities, I think.
Yeah. The
I think one
idea
of the
was like something like 12% reduction in 2012, or I forget.
And it ended up increasing, right?
No,
Greg, let's look forward.
no, because it was part of Green Communities. We've been reducing our
Yeah.
electricity use.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, you're wrong, Greg. It hasn't been increasing. The town has been reducing its electricity use, not increasing it.
Good.
um I do think that like we need to kind of hear people's complaints. I think the difference between the stretch code and the other energy projects is that the stretch code does have a real cost for some people.
yep,
You know, if they're gonna build a new house, if they're gonna do a big enough addition, it's gonna impact them in some way. And there is an easy way to have it, but people want to be heard, right? They want to
yeah,
like make sure that government is responding to their concerns or complaints. We don't have all the answers. We're not going to have all the solutions.
yeah.
We could speak to like the climate values and the energy saving values to some degree and provide stats, but I think if they're only concerned about their own personal like pocketbooks, wallets, it's not we don't have a response to that really, except to try to say it's cheaper in the long term, but it's more abstract than when they
That's
see a quote from a contractor, right? Or they're told by a contractor that it's expensive. Like who are they gonna trust? They're not gonna want to
yep.
go into the unknown. So I mean I think that's the kind of thing we just like I don't feel prepared to like address those. But
The specialized
maybe
code is only for new construction. And so I think that's something that that was really unclear to 99% of the people.
And
But I
those,
also think that at town meeting, when the entire front table is opposed to us, um, that didn't help.
Yeah.
and how do we change that?
We
Um,
have to meet with them for starters and make sure that
Exactly, yeah.
who's with us and who's not. I didn't expect that to be the case when that meeting happened. I was shocked because a lot of those people know better, but they still voted against it.
Right.
I was really sad. So,
I mean, another thing that killed us was the perceived increase in rates, even though they actually went down, of electricity. People think that, it's it's thousands of dollars more to heat with electricity than gas, and it's hundreds, but
yeah.
right at the
It
moment.
I think it speaks to like the importance of doing more like the smaller conversations, the one-on-one
Yeah,
conversations. We do like fireside chats, like come
yeah.
talk to us, like and just have a conversation. We're not gonna do a presentation. We're not gonna throw numbers at you. Let's like have a
Well,
conversation
well,
because I think
frankly, yeah, no, I didn't mean to interrupt.
yeah, I
You,
mean that's just my thought, right? Because like at the meeting, people were citing all sorts of concerns, right? They were
right.
citing electricity costs, they were citing emissions from China, they were talking about
Right.
a cost, right? It was sort of like we can't play whack-a-mole with all these different
Right. And some
And
people,
ideas,
and they
right?
were looking for everything they could possibly think of.
well, and there was some legitimate confusion. Like I know that
So,
but, one gentleman was thinking about electric resistance heating.
Yep,
right.
yep,
So I totally agree with you, Ryan. We heard from Ashfield that they had lots and lots and lots of meetings. So yeah, and oh, what else was I going to say about? The energy coach concept that might be interesting. I'm interested in doing that training. I'm not sure if I could time wise, but at that same group, NEEP talked about an energy coach thing, and I don't know. Either maybe we get some people in the engaged Deerfield to be interested in going to those training or something. But
well,
I see what we can get from NEEP as well, and I think
I frankly was, how can I say this politically correctly? Really disappointed that the Finance Committee in a 20-minute presentation assumed more authority on this subject than we have. And I think it is complicated. And I felt utterly disrespected that, you know, they shut off our responses before, before they made their vote. I had plenty of answers, but they weren't open to them because they had a very short time frame. We spent 2 years getting ready for this and can tell them about the comparison of efficiency of work energy versus heat energy and all these things. And I feel like if we bring them in, or I could get close to people in the finance committee, at least we could win a little respect for actually knowing something, and it felt very arbitrary.
I think that they were coming from a place of fear and they
Yeah.
voted for what felt safe.
Yeah.
I don't think you're being fair really to take it personally because it's just ignorance and fear. I mean, I mean, some of the things that people raised, I didn't know what the answers were, and I felt very frustrated that I didn't know what those answers were, that somebody didn't, and that they didn't get the responses that they needed to feel that,
Well,
confidence that,
I have answers for James Cambias. 30 gigatons out of China, they may actually, as a command economy, be ready to do an actual transition, and so on. But
We can also point to Ashfield getting a grant for what, $800,000?
yeah,
Uh,
and a lot of people were saying, I just don't trust the state. They'll get you committed to some project and then they won't cough up the money. And that's hard. I have no answer for that. So um, rather than fester, is there anything we need to do immediately on climate leadership?
No, there's a group of people who will continue working on it, and I think, it's I think that there are people who are very committed to making it happen.
Well, then let's help them along.
Exactly.
Green communities. It's on hold. Um, Ted Harvey has the application already, I hope. I should probably check in with them on all that.
So
Anybody?
for the same,
Same thing, building management system upgrade.
and when is the pond or whatever, when do we actually apply? Is that
I think probably April, but we missed the fall by minutes because
Oh.
the work got done, but not the filing the
Oh.
billing. They didn't actually get the check. So that put us over the deadline. So that was something I brought up at another meeting and I haven't followed through, but that it would be good to have some kind of more conscious administrative check on deadlines, because that just happened to be when Brenda was leaving and stuff. And
Oh.
Yeah, it was a ball that was dropped, but it would have been almost impossible to avoid.
yeah,
And
no, it's nobody's
and
fault, really.
it probably won't happen again because people will
Yeah.
be in place. So
Yeah. So I should just make sure that do you remember, Emma, did you ever see confirmation that it actually got filed? I think it did.
I
The
didn't see,
final report on the last Green Community.
no, but I assume Ted Harvey did that. I mean, he said that it was gonna,
Yeah,
he seemed to be very confident that it was done, so. And he hasn't been, nobody's been back asking us any more questions. But it
we
would
better
probably be
check with
good,
them.
probably be good to check.
Yeah, because that's what I actually checked with Bill Hildreth and said, so I'm assuming all the work is done and it's all complete. And he said, yes. But what wasn't complete was the contractor being paid because the bill was never submitted and then it wasn't submitted to Green Communities to be reimbursed.
Right.
So that was a problem. Okay, so
District,
otherwise, though, I think we're in good shape to go ahead with a building management system application next round. I was supposed to contact the other towns. We don't actually have, I mean, I think some of them may already be working on this too. Um, so I'll do that roundup, but
I mean, working on the same thing separately?
yes, because I think there are different levels of how much can get done. Um, if they get a certain amount of money, they do, new thermostats or something, and if they get more, they can put in new valve systems and boosters and whatever. Um, so I think our grant covers the main thing, but they're looking for more. So it would be good if we could have coordinated sooner. Um,
I think we can still get it done because
yeah, I do
know
too.
what we just need to reach out to them,
Yeah,
their towns.
I'm just wondering, I mean, part of what would have been ideal would be to um, have all four towns apply for grants to get, it looks like the cheap way to go would be mini splits. They've already put in a bunch of mini splits to get the valve systems that could regulate both airflow and temperature, tempering, um, would be expensive, but all four towns could come up with that. And
Right.
that would really begin to make
And the
Frontier,
towns are now meeting together. We went, at least I went to a joint meeting of, no, but that wasn't for Frontier, that was for the elementary schools.
yeah,
Um, but I think that, and maybe that is where we go through as it get those, but anyhow, I was being confused because that was a school committee, so.
yeah,
Um, I,
Can I just backtrack for the minutes to make sure I'm clear?
sure.
So when you said you were going to check in with Ted Harvey,
Yeah.
so are there like complications like we came up with last time about getting an estimate on incentives from Mass Save and all that good stuff? Is that stuff or is that we're just going to use the same kind of?
That's a good question. I'll ask him.
Okay.
Um, what I was saying as we were rapidly approaching the fall deadline, I was trying to get it done. I just said, let's go ahead and submit something, whether we have the Mass Save or not. And because they only wound up coughing up like $7,000 or something, not great. And for this, it could be bigger. So that would be, and
And
it helps get the Green Communities grant. The catch 22 is the Green Communities grant wants to know you're working with Mass Save. Mass Save wants to know you're working with the Green Community. The cart comes after the horse. there's no way to totally get Mass Save's determination of how much they're going to kick in until you know how much the grant you've got is. And so it doesn't work to the Green Communities grant application wants to know how much Mass Save's going to kick in, and they
Yeah.
can't do it till they know how much the Green Communities is kicking
Have
in.
this up with Chris Mason. Does he have any thoughts?
But I have homework. Anything else
So I just also wanted to backtrack a teeny bit.
on that? Okay,
Yep.
where do we go from here?
Well, am I muted?
Uh,
No. Can you hear me,
I can hear
David?
you.
just,
I can hear you.
I keep seeing cool information,
Okay.
and I
David,
wonder
can
how to
you?
get it out. Oh, Ryan, are you talking? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Well,
It sounded like Lori
Ryan,
had more
you're
to add,
muted?
but
Oh,
Um,
I'm
no,
muted.
I think
I
it's David.
wanted to bring up something, David.
Hi.
Can you hear me, David?
Yeah, here I am.
I
My
can hear you.
my little headset went away. Ryan, were you talking? I
Yep.
saw
I was
Lo-
talking.
Lori was.
and
Talking. So I just was curious, like, are you talking with Alan Falbell or David wants to space out a last name? And
Yeah.
so have you told them what we were doing, or just
not yet. No, we fell apart.
you've heard independently that they're working on something at Frontier?
I did
Oh,
just independently and informally and not real.
okay. So I'm writing in the minutes that you're going to also check in. Is it mostly Sunderland we're talking about?
I would be all of them. I have the list of all. Conway didn't have an energy committee the last time I talked, but they had people who were interested. One
That-
of whom was a Conway Select person who kind of was throwing a lot of sand in the gears, but
Oh.
anyway,
Okay, great. I just wanted to clarify that.
okay, so where do we go from here? Looks like we are going to try again with climate leadership, but I will be trying to figure out other approaches. And ways to sort of bring people in from the cold. You know, when people, I won't name names, but someone said for the EV policy that I went to the DOER site and it says must where possible. Well, we can talk about what where possible or there was another word, convenient. Anyway, it wasn't an absolute must, but all she heard was the must. We could talk about that kind of thing. Anyway,
I agree with you that we really ought to check all our language and
Yeah.
all of our, reread all of our
yeah,
motions
Yeah.
or whatever.
the warrant article.
Yes, the warrant articles and really make sure that those are solid. And that's something this committee certainly could do.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't have a DOER rep at this point. So that,
Oh, we don't?
no, he's retiring.
Oh, crud.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sounds like Mark. Do you guys know Mark Rubinski?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was the West Region coordinator. He's now deputy
Right.
director. It sounds like he's gonna be supporting West Region.
Oh,
good.
oh, great. That's great. I
Yeah,
did,
he
I
was
hadn't
good,
heard
yeah.
that. That's
I
good.
liked it.
That's what I heard through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, I mean, I think this group, we need to continue to strategize. Everybody needs to continue to strategize on all sides. And, having Lori, not Lori, having, Julie go on the building tour with us is a really good way to start
Yeah.
breaking some of those barriers down.
I
And,
agree.
so having her on that building tour is essential in my mind.
Yeah.
When is the building tour? Is it already
Right.
scheduled?
No, not yet. Ryan and Julie are the two people who really have to be there. The rest of
All of
us
us are
are
gonna, I mean, all
side.
of us can go. Is that,
Yeah, I'm gonna set up
yes?
a doodle poll, send it around. That works.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good way to do it.
Yeah, it would be great to see it.
Um, do we have a meeting problem, an open meeting? I would like to be there too.
No, I think that's going to be going around. Um, I was just saying that I didn't want to do it without
No,
those
I
two.
got that, but
Yeah.
how many of us can be on this, can do the tour?
Uh,
Meeting?
that is problematic because we can't have a quorum.
I think
Um,
3. If we have 3 people, we're okay. If 4, we're quorum.
Yeah.
Well, I could live without being there, but I want to talk to Julie. That's the main thing.
Um, well, you're the chair. Decide who should go.
Confusing.
Well, UMA, Ryan and me. Greg, is that okay? Maybe
Right.
there'll be another tour, but I want to be along on the one with Julie.
As an issue of the meeting and the quorum and whatever. So there you have it.
Okay. All right. Other things. I would just love to figure out some way to have a regular information outlet. Maybe just the website, but I mean, I'm thinking even doing little videos.
I was thinking if you and Emily and MA sat down and just talked about the different issues and got somebody who's, if we could find somebody who's adamantly opposed to it to participate in or help come up with questions so that you guys could, hash out the ones that you know the answers to and acknowledge that, you need to find more information to answer the ones you don't know and humanize the whole situation.
Yeah.
People will be willing to trust it. But when people were finding out about it at the meeting, it was just too much information for anybody to feel confident of what they were hearing, and they were hearing opposing things, It was very confusing.
I agree.
Yeah.
It would be really nice if we only had one issue and not four.
Yeah, that hurt.
I thought Emily did a great job, but I felt like
did.
she was sort of set up by the fact that she was like, it was like a cold call, you know what I mean? To like try to inform, to share so much information with so many people and then have a vote in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the kind of information I'd like to start working on is just like I've sensed that Julie really cares about this stuff, but was nervous about going all electric. And I don't think it's been made clear, and was kind of not clear to me why going all electric is such a good thing. And it comes down to physics that when you use heat energy, you lose close to 80%. I mean, you get 100% if you're heating your house, but a heat pump can actually be 300% which is obviously mathematically crazy. Anyway, there are differences between the kind of energy that make going electric simply just by going electric, we could probably cut energy use in the state by more than half, just by using the more efficient way of delivering energy, which is electric power.
Uh, uh,
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
I think
Tell
we
me.
need to move
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
because this time,
Well-
it's 5:30 and we have to be out of here by 6. So let's
Just-
not
Well,
have,
well, we're done. We're practically done.
I have another issue,
Oh, okay.
some new business.
But wait, come on. The
Yeah,
delivery of electric power, half of the energy is lost in the transmission lines, and that's not counting the efficiency of turning fossil fuels into electricity, which they in most cases they can do a more efficient job than you can do at home. Except then you add the 50% loss on top. So a city gas is if is can be more efficient than having the electric company burn it and turn it into electricity and transmit it to you.
yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds like
Okay.
a conversation for another day.
Yeah, it does. One quick thing, there was a New York Times op-ed I'll send you all about peak shaving. I know, Lori, you've been keen on that. Peak shaving could cover the added data center load, according to this article. Anyway, MA, you had a new
Yes.
issue.
I talked to Tim Hilchey,
Yep.
and he has suggested that there is a person who would like to join the Energy Committee. And I am looking right now at what he said. I think I am. I'm trying to. Anyhow, this person has been working with the ISO. They really know electricity, and I will send out something, but I think that what we need to, do we have a process? Is there any problem with having a new member who, I think they're really well educated on these issues,
Yeah.
and what is very, and wants to be, and has talked to Tim about being on our committee. So, and I'm sitting here unprepared to tell you anything, because I just found out about it this morning, so let's see. Are there any reason not to have a new member on our committee?
I think the process is they go to there's that, but then I don't object at all to a person who is knowledgeable. I mean, if you guys put up with me, why wouldn't we put up with me? No, who knows their stuff. No, I think that would be great. So they just get appointed by the select board, right? And then they do the sign in.
Well, I think we write the select board a letter.
Yeah, recommending them for.
And it might be nice for us to meet this person.
Yeah.
Yep.
So invite them to another our next meeting, or
There's actually an application that he can download from the select board page of our website, or he can
Really?
stop by and, yes,
Ryan is very familiar with this process.
yes,
Yeah, I think I did
If
some of it in backwards order, but yes.
Yeah.
yes. If somebody wants to join a board or committee, they can get the application either from me or download and print it out from the website, from the select board page, fill it out, bring it in, and they should have a letter of support or an email of support from the board or committee that they would like to join. Otherwise, the select board won't know whether or not you support this person.
right.
And some boards and committees have a maximum number of members allowed.
I don't think we do, though.
Okay, I don't remember. I have reviewed
David,
the
you remember?
bylaws for many of them, but I don't recall what your membership is allowed.
I
But
don't remember
if you're
that.
certain, that's fine.
I'm not at all certain.
Yeah,
So we're just missing Jay tonight, so that would mean 7 of us. We have 7 right.
I think Jay officially quit, didn't he? He's ex officio or something. I don't remember what he said.
no,
Hmm.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't get
that.
anything that said that Jay quit.
Oh,
No,
Me either.
I misunderstood.
Did not resign with the select board, which is the appointing
Yeah.
authority.
I
No,
just
I
vaguely
I
remember him
think he
saying that he
still
wanted
wants.
to come to the meetings, but I don't know. Anyway, forget it. He hasn't.
He's been participating and he hasn't sent anything in that I've seen.
Right.
So the
And that would
thing I
be
was
the proper
thinking is
way to go about it.
how much, if we had 8 people, what would quorum be? That make quorum 5 people?
It would still be the same at 8.
So it'd still be 4 people. Then there's no reason in my mind not to, unless Pat can find out in our bylaws somewhere that we
Well, the
can.
bylaws are also online if any of you would like to review them.
I just looked it up.
Otherwise, Greg or
We-
I will review the bylaws and see what the membership rules are with regards to your committee.
It's no fewer than 5, no more than 9.
There you
Okay,
go.
there you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan.
You're
Cool.
good.
David, I wanted to also share something after you share what you read, because you go first.
I'm done.
Oh, well, you're going to share the op-ed. That's right, about peak shaving. So there was a piece in the Recorder maybe last week about, I'm pretty sure it was the schools in Orange. They got some huge grant through the Green Schools program, which I don't know. I think I haven't been thinking about that because we were working on it through Green Communities, but I don't know if there's more work that could be done at DES, at the elementary school, past the building management controls. Are we pretty much maxed out the weatherization and everything there?
Well, I mean, what I still don't understand is nobody seems to want to coordinate with the mini splits, but that could happen there. And we could possibly buy more mini splits for them.
Okay.
That's definitely the next steps on the building management stuff is coordinating it so that with the mini splits actually work with the system.
I mean, they have so far, both Frontier and DES are basically only using them for air conditioning
Right.
and humidity control.
I thought that's what I thought that's what was part of this thing, but no.
Well, it is. It's we're taking it step by step, but until all the steps are completed, you can't do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking at this Green School Works grant, and maybe we could just apply to Green Communities for that also. I don't know how more complicated the Green School Works grant thing is, but
Well, we already have it. We've used up our Green Communities is going to go to Frontier. That's
okay.
Yes.
Up to 19 million will be available for schools for this round of funding.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I can put this link in the minutes and
yeah, please do.
yeah, proposals due February 13th. And maybe, so could we get help from Alex about this? Is that a real thing that our town planner? Would she maybe do some of the background stuff on this? Wasn't that a possibility for her role?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I can still get more information on the informational webinar, but okay. How about if
I mean, is it enough to actually replace the Green Communities? I mean, I hate to bollocks it up now, but if we could cover the building management system through the Green School thing, we could find some other thing to do with Green Communities.
Well, I think since you have it all ready to go in it's the same format and the same everything, I think that would be a kind of a shoe-in with Green communities.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it says here, like I have to read more about it, but award potential 50,000 to $5 million.
Mm. That's nice.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can find the article in the recorder, but I could try and send you that. It was pretty impressive what they. Oh. Okay, I'm
Right.
ready to say amen.
All right. MA,
Yes.
you had other things. Well, you got the new
No,
member.
that was about the new member. And
Any
I'm trying to
reports on
find,
MVP, CCI, any of that stuff?
nah,
Nah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
And we
Uh,
round up and get out of here.
well, while we got him, Greg, any bike lanes stuff?
Not really. No. I did try to get in touch with Beth Giannini. I did get in touch with Beth Giannini at FERCog to see what the results were from the Franklin County bike plan, whatever. And they still haven't tallied the results as of a couple of weeks ago. And she said she'd let me know when they had it done so we could see at least whether we're in their, mix or not. And I asked her if she could steer me toward, just other options in terms of, getting the ball, keeping the ball rolling instead of just living, hoping it will just happen, right? Which is kind of what I was thinking. FERCog was going to just jump on it because I thought it was such a great plan. I mean, it really made sense. Just having we have two bike lanes that don't go anywhere. Why? How does it not make sense to connect them? But I don't even know if FERCog has money to implement their vision once they've got it all mapped out, or whether it's just a, a proposal. So anyway, in terms of bike lanes, no, not really much. The tree thing, I talked with Stacy Chapley again and met with her and her kids. Denise Schwartz had expressed an interest a while ago in helping with that, so she came to a couple of meetings with them also. And at this point, we're talking about trying to do something in the spring. What exactly that will be is up in the air, obviously, and will be contingent upon, what we have funds to do. But there's a site that got identified at the school where, they could have a small nursery. And the kids in the environment club at the high school had been learning a lot about what trees are viable with climate change in our area and what trees are not. And nixed a bunch of, possibles and identified a few species that they thought would be preferable to try to do. And the woman who does the energy club with Stacy, whose name I'm forgetting, she's also a science teacher at the middle school, I believe, is on her own doing called air pruning, and she's suggested that that might be a good way to go because with air pruning you are able to grow a lot of trees in a very small area by raising the roots up off of the surface of the soil and pruning them. So once they get to a certain size, they won't keep growing, but they can keep getting stronger. So basically, it would give the kids an opportunity to build some really healthy stock in a really small space at the high school. We're talking like 100 trees in a 8 by 10 foot area.
That's all cool. Did we ever finish spending we had $500 encumbered, I think, last year.
As far as I know, it was all spent at the time. The
Oh,
guys
so
got
that's done. So you're talking about new money, which we don't really have yet.
No, when we go to ask for money again, I think we should, continue to do it. Or, if not, then look other places. But it seems absurd to me that we're only asking for $1,000. We're the Energy Committee. We're saving the town hundreds of thousands of dollars and helping protect the community. I think we could ask for a larger budget than $1,000 a year.
Yeah. maybe. We didn't this year though.
But there might be places too, like, I don't know if the Arbor Day Foundation, I don't know if they give out any money. I don't know. But that's exciting that that idea. And I really love so the other thing with just a brief connection with MVP is that we've installed, or through MVP, there's been some rain gardens installed and plantings different places. And Pat Ryan was telling me like how much time they spent weeding the Leary lot. And I think even at Deerfield Elementary, those rain gardens are going to need to be maintained. And the one that they did a couple of years ago too, where that bridge is. So it would be great to get a teacher and the kids to kind of be paying attention to that. I mean, nice to have the town involved in it too, but
Is the DPW just incapable of taking care of these things? Because they're the ones you can rely on.
I don't think they
Hmm?
I don't think they do that level of detail, like weeding. Like they know which plants are the
Well, but they can be trained to do it.
Yeah, I think it would take the select board to, make it official, I mean, to say that's something that really needs to be done and to assign it to them. They're not going to do it on their own, though. That's for sure. We had a problem. I also met with a forester to find out what happened to the trees that didn't survive because we lost at least 3 trees out of our 15 or 25 or whatever the total number is that have been passed in a few years. And he was so knowledgeable. It was really fascinating to watch the way he was looking at the trees and to see what he was figuring out. And he pointed out a couple of problems that are very, very easily, manageable. But for starters, we got to communicate with Bill Hildreth and make sure that the people on the lawn mowing crew don't crash into our little tiny trees because we gouged several of the trees, and those trees are the ones that are either ailing or dead. So that didn't help. But he also said that they really need to have a lot of mulch put around them when they're young for them to flourish, and that was something that we only did the first year, but we didn't do it again.
So I wonder if so in the future we set up a pretty serious circular fence around it, because I'm sorry to say it, but somebody gets on a mower and they're just gonna rip. They don't give a bleep. They're getting their job done. So I think we need to think ahead about, I mean, we should educate them, but also, until the tree is a certain height, put a fence around it. But anyway.
How about we move on to when we schedule our next meeting so we can invite this person?
Yeah. I
What people think.
move to adjourn this meeting.
Oh, no, not yet. We can't adjourn until we find a new meeting.
Okay, I
January what?
okay, let me do the order of things then. Okay, so what are we thinking? January something.
22nd.
Which is a Thursday.
Yep.
It's okay with me.
I'm sorry, what was the dates? I was
January 22nd, I'm throwing out.
And you want to do it at 4:15 or?
You guys name it.
Well, Pat doesn't want it at 4. If
It
she's,
doesn't matter.
oh, come on now.
Oh, okay. But it's
4:30.
what
4:30 is fine, 4 o'clock is fine, 4:15 works.
Okay, well, if 4 is okay, let's shoot for 4. How's 4 for everybody?
okay.
One sec.
Sounds good.
Steve's good.
I'm okay.
Ryan, is that all right?
Yep.
All right, good.
Does
Right.
that work for Lori? Isn't she coming from Chicopee?
Yeah, no, that's okay. I get out of school at 2:30 now. My other school got out of school at 4. So,
Ah,
but I'm just gonna say, Ryan, just hooray and thank you for sticking with us. It was a kind of a rough introduction, that
Yeah.
meeting.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think you did a brilliant job talking about your child in the future. So just want to say that if I haven't said it.
Yeah. Always happy to help out.
Yeah.
So-
That's an introduction to life in Deerfield.
Yeah, was a good introduction. Yeah,
Yeah, you got to see everybody.
I like to keep things interesting. So
Yeah.
Was that
yeah.
January 22nd at 4?
PM, yeah, on Zoom.
Is 4 good for everybody, or we can move it? I'm fine with 4.
It doesn't matter to me. I just want to know what we're doing.
Let's say 4.
Yeah, 4 is good because I need to usually leave by 5:30, so.
Yeah, it seems like other people want the Zoom slot,
Yeah.
so. So now, I guess, is that a motion? Do we have a motion for 22nd for, yay, MA?
I
And a
move that we
second,
adjourn.
and we adjourn. Do we have a second on adjourning? There we
Second.
go, Ryan, a vote. Yes,
Aye.
yes, I see. Unanimous, even though I can't see Greg's hand.